I'm here with Stella. She is one of 3 sea lions who is going to be here at the Ionia Free Fair. The event is underway, and I'm just going to show you a quick peek inside right now. Debbie Stabenow is just wrapping up her remarks, and you can see all these people, roughly 1,500 people here at this event. It wasn't like the Emancipation Proclamation, where people found out about the announcement fairly quickly. Instead, those who were living in Galveston and heard the announcement at the time had to get that news all the way up to states in the north like Michigan through word of mouth and oral histories. While Michigan picked up a few extra inches this month, all a mosquito really needs is this little capful right here. This is enough for them to make 300 mosquito eggs. You can see the damage right in the barn here that was recently renovated, but just across the street, if you'll walk with me, you'll see the homes maybe 80, 100 yards away. They still have no damage. So this is Ashley Graham, and I am here with Cynthia, and we are at the Ionia Free Fair, and I'm also here with Stella, who is one of her 3 sea lions who she brought to the fair this weekend. I'm so glad you guys mentioned the rain because it is starting to pour right now, but you can see some people behind me heading out of the MSU Dairy store. So whether you're looking for someone's favorite snacks or just something that they can use around the house, there's still time for you to find what you need right in your own neighborhood. Everything that went onto this cast iron plaque had to be factually correct. Nothing could be a mistake. And we're gonna head out here because I made the mistake of wearing red and people keep asking if I'm an employee, but we will have much more for you tonight at 6 News at 11. Here for you in Ionia, Ashley Graham, 6 News. "3 seconds. That's all it took for a tornado to destroy this house in Vernon."
Just like that. It was crazy.
Pat Fuja could only watch from the road as the tornado knocked the home over, with his 86-year-old mother alone inside. You can still see the room she was sitting in before the hit.
Pulled the whole house off the foundation and tipped it like that.
So down here's the basement.
Yeah.
He raced up the driveway in the dark, in the rain, as soon as the tornado passed. He found her in that same room near her recliner. But now, the first floor was in the basement. Do you remember what she said when you finally got to her?
Oh, I'm glad to see you.
She made it out with no injuries. And in the morning, he says they were able to save her dog from the house. They spent much of the day trying to save any important documents they can. For now, he says the family is just grateful for the chance to move forward at all.
We're just thanking the Lord for it, you know. This is, could have been a lot worse. And, you know, even though this is about the worst one, they said, you know, that they've seen.
And for a chance to rebuild. Here for you in Vernon Township, Ashley Graham, 6 News. Today, a piece of history, years in the making, found its home in Jackson's Mount Evergreen Cemetery. And 2 families saw their stories permanently etched. Through her research, historian Linda Haas found 2 families united by the railroad. These 2 sisters whose ancestors stopped in Jackson on their way to Canada, and this man whose great-great-grandparents helped them to freedom.
I mean, it is just, it's incredible. Not to mention what a historical event for Jackson, but for our family, it just means everything.
It took a year and a half to get to this point because everything that went onto this cast iron plaque had to be factually correct. Nothing could be a mistake. But now it's here and here to stay in Jackson as a reminder of the city's history.
And I would like to think that their ancestors are smiling at this moment because they knew each other. I have the proof that they did know each other. And here, over 100 years later, their descendants have met again in such a happy occasion.
People who visit the cemetery can see the family's names on the plaque and the graves of both families' ancestors on a tour. And the families will know that their stories will live on for generations to come. Here for you in Jackson, Ashley Graham, 6 News. After nearly 2 months and thousands of hours of work, more than 40 FIRST robotics teams took the stage, with hundreds of robots each designed to attack, defend, or score points in an obstacle course.
This is the one sport that everybody can go pro in, and it is a real competition. It's a real intense competition for the kids, and I just love to see that validation that all their hard work is getting recognized by their peers, the community, and other teams.
Not every team will make it to the next round, but they're all rooting for each other. It's part of the FIRST Robotics mantra of gracious professionalism. It's not uncommon for one team to send spare parts or even spare players to other teams in need on the day of the competition so that everyone has a fair shot.
That's what FIRST is in robotics, is gracious professionalism. You want to help the team, see other people succeed. You want to help other teams and watch them succeed.
The teams that get enough points will move on to the state championship next weekend and could have a shot at the world championship later this month. The players say the spirit of good sportsmanship will last year-round.
And so I think that that's a really big part of FIRST robotics competitions, is like everybody collaborating and helping each other and just having fun with fixing up each other's robots and stuff. So I think that's one of the best parts for me.
Here for you in Mason, Ashley Graham, 6 News. It's safe to say the last several weeks have been hard for Mary Williams. She and her son Corey Catlin are still healing from their injuries. Williams from the stabbing and Catlin from a gunshot wound to the neck after being shot by a Jackson police officer. And Williams says she's dealing with more pain under the surface.
He said, I'm taking my life and I'm taking yours too, because nobody out here cares about you.
That's what Corey Catlin said to his mother, Mary Williams, before he stabbed her in the back on February 2nd. He held her hostage while recording the whole thing on Facebook Live. Catlin is still in the hospital recovering. His mother is afraid.
Yep, I have fear. I'm having nightmares that my son is under my bed. Yes, indeed I am, because I'm still traumatized that my son would do anything like this to me.
When all this happened, Catlin was on parole for assault with a deadly weapon. He hasn't been charged with the stabbing or the standoff. Mary says she wants justice for what he did to her, but she also wants him to get help.
My son needs mental rehabilitation. He needs to be gone for a minute. This is not the first time he's had these same charges brought up on him. This is the 3rd time, and I'm his mother.
Mary has not been in contact with her son since the shooting, and right now she doesn't want anything to do with him.
At the end of the day, that'll always be my son, and I'll always love my son, but I don't have to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? And right now, like I said, I'm frozen, I'm numb inside.
Instead, she says her family is moving on.
We're backing away. We got to continue on with our life. We can't be in fear of Corey Catlin. We got to be the strong person and put it in God's hands and continue forward. And that's what we're about to do.